Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica and I run my own small business called loopingteddys. And welcome back to week 2 of my crazy 4-week market prep challenge, where I basically try to make as many items as I can and build up as much inventory as I possibly can over the course of the next 4 weeks, which is until my next event, because my previous 2 markets of this year so far have kind of cleared me out of inventory really fast. So I'm really trying to build up some more inventory for those next events. So last week we started this challenge and we actually made over 70 items in 1 week, totaling just around 500 euros worth of inventory. So of course I'm trying to keep up with that this week, or even possibly make more this week. In a crazy turn of events though, it's already Thursday as I'm starting this video. So we're kind of getting a bit of a late start to the market prep challenge of this week. But I did crochet a little bit, so I will get into that in just a second. I also have a package that arrived the other day because I just ordered safety eyes, but I'm already running out of them again. So I had to order some 8mm safety eyes. I actually ordered 2 packs of those. Actually, let me just show you what I got. So I got 2 packs of 8mm safety eyes, and there's 120 in those. So with the 2 packs, if every plushie takes 2 eyes, I can actually make 120 plushies, which sounds a lot at first, but last week I actually made 50 baby whales, so I used up quite a lot of eyes then. So that is why I am needing to reorder so soon. Kind of in that same theme, I also got 1 pack of 10mm eyes, because currently I'm prepping quite a lot of mini items, and that is my big goal for this week as well, because actually we're heading out to meet some family for Easter and like staying with them on Saturday, and I will actually have some help over there with tagging my plushies. So my goal this week is to make as many mini items as I can so that I have a lot of them finished and we can tag quite a lot of them over the course of the weekend, because the mini plushies are kind of a pain to tag because there's just so many of them. So that is going to be the big focus of this week, to work on more mini items and get as many of them prepped for tagging. So that is also why I got some of my tags again. So that's 500 tags. This is what they look like. And I just print out my tag design and stick it on here. So I wanted to make sure that I have enough tags for us to actually be productive over the course of the weekend, so that we can actually tag as many items as possible, or as many as I have finished until then. I also got some more keychains. This is actually only the second time that I had to order keychains. There's 100 pieces in there, and I ordered them when I first started my business, and I haven't had to reorder them until now. But actually I'm kind of running low on the pack that I currently have, so finally we had to get some more. I recently started having an option at markets so that people can add a keychain to their mini item for €1, and people have been very interested in that. I think at my last event around 6 or 7 people ended taking that option and having a keychain added, and I just add them at the market so that I don't have to prep and think like what colors people would like as a keychain and what colors they wouldn't like as a keychain. I just have this option at the market and people can choose which item and which color they want and have their personal keychain made at my booth. So yeah, that was a very long explanation why I finally got some more of these keychains. And then the final item that's in here is kind of my little secret how I attach my safety eyes. So these are these little, not sure if that is going to focus, little plastic washers. It's kind of hard to tell what they look like, but they basically have a hole in the middle, and I attach them like behind my safety eye before I put on the backing, and that's just to make the surface of the safety eye backing bigger so that the safety eye can't actually come out of the plushie anymore. So I get these, and This is a 200 pack. I usually like to get the 300 pack because it's just a better value. But they were all out of that. I actually got 2 of those, so that is enough to make 200 plushies because again, I need 2 washers for every single plushie. So I was running low on those and I repurchase those again to make more plushies. And if you're interested in any of the materials, I have all of them linked in my Amazon storefront because I get a lot of questions about how I attach my safety eyes safely enough. So this is kind of the big secret behind my safety eyes. These washers are such a lifesaver. But now I have been talking for way too long until I am actually showing you the first plushies I have been working on this week. So let me get out my big bag and we will go over everything that I have been working on. Okay, so I have my big bag over here again, and I think the first thing I finished this week was my little chick that I have here. I started working on that last week when I was making the other chicks that I finished last week, but I ran out of yarn like halfway through. So I just had to make half of the body and just finish it up. So that was the first thing that I did this week. So we're up to, I believe it's 6 chicks now. Let me check my market prep planner that I have here with all of the things that I want to make for this market. And yeah, that means I have 6 chicks now. I will actually add that in here. So that is the first item I made. I then went on to finally finish some whips I had been working on for quite a long time. So I never got around to finishing them, but I finally did. So I have these 2 turtles that are exactly the same in the colorway. And this color combination is actually kind of popular for my market. So I actually want to make 3 of them, which I can see in my market prep planner. So I have 2 of them finished now and I just have to make another 1 of those. But turtles in general, I currently have 5 prepped, including those 2. And I want to have 20, so we still have to make quite a lot of them. But as I said before, this week is going to be very much mini plushie focused. So that's what I moved on to next because I knew I was going to want to make a lot of mini plushies this week. So I decided to start working on my bee chains. So these little mini bees that are on keychains. Okay, so I actually made so many of them already, like a whole bee hive, if that is the correct word. And I actually made 1 more in a different colorway. So I made this lilac and cream body and just regular white wings because I really wanted to try out some new colorways for those mini bees, but I'm actually not sure if I am liking this one as much as I'm liking the natural bees. So we will see if he gets attention at the next market, and then I can know if I want to make more of those fun colored bees in the future. But in total, that's 10 mini bees that I made this week so far. And I actually want to make 30 in total. So it means we're actually kind of far along. So let me put those into the market prep planner. And I wanted to make 15 of those in a yellow and black colorway and 15 in a yellow and brown colorway. And I think that this color combination might actually be more popular than the black and yellow. So I put this one as a black and yellow bee. So I now just have to make 6 more in this colorway and 14 in the yellow and black, if that makes any sense. But for now, after I finished all 10 of those, I actually decided to move on to some different plushies because, as you can tell, there's quite a lot I still need to make for those. So I decided to move on to popping mushrooms, and I was working on the classic red capped mushroom, and these are like the little popping mushrooms that can pop up and down. And I have finished a couple of them so far. So I was just working on the classic red cap and I finished 5 of those so far, so pretty good. I actually want to make 10 in the red colorway and then a couple of other fun colors. So we already have 5 of the red ones finished. And then actually let me get into the works in progresses I'm currently working on. So I started to work on some more of the little caps for the mushrooms. So I actually made quite a lot of those so far because apparently I just need a million whips at a time constantly because that is just the way I tend to work. So I made 5 caps in this like really like intense blue, and that is all of them I want to make in this color. I also made 5 in this like poison green mushroom type. That is all of them I want to make in this color. I then moved on to light blue and I wanted to make 2 light blue. So all of the caps for this color are prepped. I also have 3 in this turquoise color, and that's all of them I want to make in the color. So I have all of the caps prepped and just need to finish them up. And then I have 3 in this very bright orange that is very much brighter than you can currently tell on camera, and I want to make 5 in this color combination, so I actually have to make 2 more of those to have all of them prepped. And then I have a singular pink mushroom cap because I ran out of yarn for that, and I actually want to make 5 in this color combination as well. So I still need to make quite a lot of those, but actually I think the more useful thing would be to start completing those mushrooms that I currently have prepped, because that is like 19 mushroom caps that I would have to finish up. And I think that it makes more sense to actually finish those plushies up right now so that they are finished and can be tagged over the course of the weekend when I have some help with tagging. But then I also ended up getting into a pattern test yesterday by one of my crochet friends who actually helped me test my little no-sew sheep pattern recently, and she asked me if I wanted to test her first pattern ever. So of course I said yes, and I got into the pattern test, and it will be for this lovely little ballerina. I will put a picture up here. So I will need to work on that today as well, and I'm actually thinking that I might start out with that just so I can look through the pattern and start giving her some feedback that she can work into the pattern, and yeah, kind of work on that pattern test first. So I have some colors already. I need to get out a color for the skirt still, and then I have some dark brown for her hair, and then we need to pick out a little skirt color. I'm thinking that I might actually do this purple for her skirt because I think that that will look kind of cute for her. So the next thing I will be working on today is the ballerina. Okay friends, so it's now a little while later, around an hour or so later I would say, and I wanted to show you how far I've gotten along with the little ballerina pattern that I'm currently testing. So I have finished her little body and the dress, so the dress is actually attached to the body. I also added the facial details already. And now the only thing left to do is she's looking kind of bald still, so I need to make her hair in this color, and then I need to sew that on there. That is actually the only part of the pattern that needs to get sewn on to the plushie. So I will do that now. And I actually realized this is the first time I'm actually making like a human doll kind of plushie. So before I was only making animals and like mushrooms and stuff like that. So this is the first like actual like doll that I'm making. So I'm kind of excited about it. I really like the pattern so far. I think it's turning out pretty cute and I can't wait to see what she actually looks like completed. I ended up going with the little blue dress because I actually have quite a lot of this color in stock and I just grabbed that first. So I ended up going with a little blue dress. I also know that a lot of the other testers so far have been going with like pink and purple and I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. So I think she's looking really cute so far. So I will check in with you once I have her completely finished. Okay friends, so it's now another while later and I have finished the little ballerina. So here she is. We have a cute little bun with a bow added on top. I'm not sure if I can actually leave the bow on because it's just tied on right now and not like super secure, so I should probably remove that when I want to sell her. But I think she turned out so cute. Like, this is my first ever actual crochet doll that I made. I also like her little smirk that she has, and she's actually a kind of nice, decent size. So I'm happy that I got to try out this pattern and make her. So we have now completed the first plushie of the day, and actually I will now be heading home because I kind of need to make dinner and all of that. But I will of course take all of the mushroom caps that I showed you earlier and probably work on some more of those mushrooms tonight and try and finish up a couple of them. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow and show you how much I got done tonight, and we will work on some more plushies tomorrow. Hi friends, it's now Friday. I actually hope you can hear me all right because I forgot to take my mic over here with me because I put it in my backpack loosely yesterday and not in my camera bag. So I hope you can hear me all right. We will see if I do all of this for nothing, I guess, once I edit this part of the video. But I'm back at the studio. It's currently afternoon already. So I have been pretty busy today making lots of candle vessels. As you can tell, my shelf on the side here is getting kind of full again. I made lots of these little marble, hoping it focuses, marble vessels because these have been selling pretty well and I want to make quite a lot of those for my next events. And since today is a holiday where I live, I am taking advantage that nobody is here in the building where my studio is located because I always feel kind of bad when other people are here and I'm making these vessels because I need to use some machinery for whisking the two parts together, and I always feel like I might bother other people when I am working here while they're trying to concentrate and stuff like that. I have been taking advantage of me being the only person here today, so that is what I have been kind of focusing on today. So I was just crocheting a little bit on the side and I was working on the mushrooms that I showed you yesterday, and I actually finished up quite a lot of them, so let's get into that. I also took my little doll back home to show my boyfriend what I made, so he thinks she looks kind of funny and he actually said that she would be a great item to have at my booth to attract customers. Even though he said he thinks that she will not sell like all that quickly, she might be a great customer magnet. So we will see if his intuition is right about her. So I took her back here to add to my finished plushie bin. And then also this morning while I was back at home, I was printing out all of my stickers for my labels because, as I said before, when we're visiting family starting tomorrow, I will have some help for tagging my plushies because my boyfriend's cousins really loved to help me last time with all of my plushies, and they said to definitely take all of the plushies I need to be tagged so that they can help me and stick the stickers onto the tags and actually tag all of the finished plushies. So I printed out enough stickers to make around 600 tags, which sounds kind of crazy. I'm not sure if we will actually tag that many items, but still I wanted to bring as much as I possibly could so we can be kind of productive over the course of the weekend. So I did all of that this morning. I already packed up all of that so we can be busy in the next couple of days and tag all of the items. And then in terms of crochet, I finished up most of the mushrooms I showed you yesterday. So we only have a couple of caps left. So in total, I finished up 4 of these green mushrooms, 2 in this turquoise, 3 very blue ones, and 3 of these one-offs. So in total that means I finished up 12 mushrooms. So I have a couple left to work on. I'm actually currently working on one. So I just brought that over here. And I just have a couple of these caps left. So we have 5 more after I finish the one that I'm currently working on. So that is the first plan that I want to do today while I'm here, to finish up these mushrooms and add them into my market prep planner. And then I think once I finish all of those up, I'm not at the 50 mushrooms that I want to make for the next event, but I think I will move on to mini chicks with hats after that, because I currently only have 2 in my inventory, and these are also like plushies that you kind of need to finish up and stuff and add eyes while you're working on them. So I can't really take them on my road trip while I'm in the car, because I don't want to add eyes and stuff like that while I'm in the car. So I think I will work on mini chicks with hats until we're leaving tomorrow, and we will see how many I can get done for that. And then on the car ride, which is a 2-hour-ish car ride, so not so bad, I want to take yarn for mini octos, because you can prep all of them before you need to add eyes and finish them up. And then I also want to take yarn for some mallards and some penguins, so my chubby birds, because I currently have none of those. So that will be the plan for the car ride slash the course of the weekend. So now the plan is to finish up the rest of these, as I said before, and I'm not sure how much I will actually get done while I'm here, because as I said, I want to focus on making lots of vessels over the course of this weekend, or like until we leave tomorrow afternoon. So that will be kind of the goal, to take advantage of the whole free space I have here right now. So yeah, I will work on the mushrooms and check in with you once all of them are completed to add them into the market prep planner. Okay friends, so I wanted to check in. It's now a bit of a longer while later, and I actually still haven't finished up all of the mushrooms. I still have 2 left to finish, but as I said before, I've been kind of focusing on making a lot of candle vessels today, and I actually got quite a lot of them done. You can kind of see them over here, so those ones, and then I also have some more up there that I made. So overall I made around 20 candle vessels today, which is pretty good. I still am waiting on a lot more molds, because I currently only have 1 of each mold, and that kind of takes a long time to pour all of the vessels I need to remake after only 2 markets. So I can only imagine that as the year goes on and we are kind of like heading into the fall and winter, so like candle season, I will need to remake them a lot more often and in a lot bigger quantities. So I actually ordered some more molds so I can pour them in like bigger batches in the future and not take a long time like I'm currently taking for making those vessels. But yeah, I actually am pretty happy with how many I made today still. But I was crocheting in the meantime whenever everything was like drying in the molds, and there was actually not that much time where I could use the time to crochet between pouring those batches of vessels, but I still finished up a couple of these mushrooms, and as I'm heading home tonight, I will definitely finish those two. They're definitely on the agenda. And then, as I said before, I want to really make a couple of mini chicks with hats tonight. I'm aiming for around 10-ish. That should definitely be possible over the course of the evening. And then I will actually go ahead and put a yarn order in, because I was looking for some pink or like baby pink yarn earlier, and this is all that I have left. I thought I had some over here because when I was crocheting back at home, I only had this little piece and no more whole skein. So I thought, yeah, I will just grab one when I'm back at the studio. But I had to realize that I actually currently only have this. And this is one of my best-selling colors for all types of items. So I definitely need to get that. And then I mentioned that in, I think, last week's video. I actually want to fill up the whole lower part of my yarn shelf. So my yarn is all up in this part and nothing is down there currently. And yeah, when I put another yarn order in, I will just stock up on some basics, because I really want to have a big stash in my studio, because I'm kind of scared that some of the yarn prices might increase in the future because of everything that's going on currently. So I would really like to have a big stock over here, so I'm kind of like more independent in that regard. But yeah, I will definitely put a yarn order in hopefully tonight as well. I kind of thought a lot about what I want to order today, so that is the plan for tonight. Tomorrow can be a bigger crocheting day again, because I can only pour a couple more vessels because I'm actually running out of my Jesmonite. And I put another order in for another big bag, but that's only coming in next week. So I will kind of have to put a stop on pouring candle vessels, and then we can focus some more on crochet inventory for the rest of the week. So I will see you guys again tomorrow when I'm back at the studio, and I will give you a little bit of an update of what I worked on tonight. Okay friends, I'm now back at the studio. It's now Saturday, and I already kind of took a little bit of time to clean up the studio a little bit, even though it still looks very much chaotic. But I already vacuumed the whole studio, and now I wanted to accomplish a couple of things before I have to leave this afternoon. So first of all, I was working on some plushies last night, so I finished up the 2 remaining mushrooms that were to be finished up. So we have all of them done now. And then I was working on some mini chicks with hats. I actually already completed a couple of them. So I have 4 finished currently. This little green hat, this little turquoise hat, a lilac, and then a bright red one. So these are the 4 that I already have finished and can put into my plushie box back there. And then I also made a couple more hats that I want to finish up today. So in total I made 12 hats last night. I have 4 finished up, so that leaves 8 of those mini chicks to be finished up right now. I also already packed a big bag of yarn that I want to take on the little trip, and I took most of the yarn from back home. But I have a couple skeins that I have to pick out here to put into the bag because I didn't have any more at home of those. So that's what I will be doing, I think, first actually, so that I don't forget that. And actually this time I will also be taking stuffing and eyes, so I can actually like totally complete the plushies while I'm away and work on some more of those. And then finally I got an Etsy order last night for a little chick, not like these, but like the actual chicks without hats that are slightly bigger. And I already have some of them finished up, so I would really like to pack that one up today to send it out so that it arrives pretty soon, because I already have it finished, so I can just pack that today. So we have 3 tasks to accomplish. The first one being actually packing the rest of the yarn. So that's what we will do. Okay, and I think I will give you a rundown of everything I packed and what I'm planning to make while I'm on my trip a little later, like on the trip. But let's just say I packed a whole lot of yarn. This bag is completely filled to the brim, but we're away for a couple of days, and I think that I will actually have quite a lot of time to crochet since we're just like hanging out with family, and I can kind of crochet on the side, and I really should crochet on the side so that I actually get some plushies done because I have to make quite a lot still. So that is my big goal, and I think just like having a little family trip is the perfect kind of trip to still stay productive and actually get a little bit accomplished. So now, next, after packing everything, I want to pack up my little chick so I can send that one out today. What you Okay, friends, so it's now a little while later, and I actually have to pack up my things and go home to be able to do my workout for the day before we have to leave. So I wasn't able to finish all of the mini chicks. I still have 3 more little hats left over, but I will definitely work on those on the trip. So I will check in with you once I have those finished, and I think the next time you will see me might be in the car when I get some crochet time in, or whenever I'm able to check in with you guys. Hi friends, so I'm now obviously back at the studio. I ended up actually taking the past couple of days off from filming. It's currently the next week, and I wanted to check in and kind of give you an update on what I was working on while I was on my little trip to visit family over Easter, because I actually stayed kind of busy. And on my side here you can see my big box of plushies, and they're now actually all tagged. So we ended up doing that over the course of my trip. So I have everything tagged that I made in the past 2 weeks, and I wanted to check in and show you what I was actually working on until Sunday, because I'm currently like doing my videos weekly, so I won't show you what I did after Sunday. But up until Sunday I made some more baby octos. So I actually finished up 10 of them. I finished up 5 in this very bright pink color, and then 5 in this lilac color, for a total of 10 baby octos. And then I actually made those on the car ride there. I made these mallard ducks. So I made a total of 7 of those, and I just made the bodies on the way there, and then I finished them up while I was away. So we have 7 mallard ducks, and I actually ended up making some more of the little chicks as well. So I made 5 more of those as well, just to have some more of those in my inventory, because the chicks tend to do best out of all of the chubby birds. So I wanted to have enough of those in stock. So that was everything else that I made last week. So I'm actually pretty happy with the amount of stuff I made. I mean, this whole box was made in just 2 weeks, of Market Prep, so I'm actually pretty happy about all of that. And I actually wanted to give you a little bit of a breakdown of everything I made this week. So in total, I made 59 items, most of them being mini items. I made a total of 24 mushrooms. I made 12 mini chicks with hats. I made 10 baby octos. I made the 5 chicks and 7 mallards I showed you. And I made the ballerina pattern test. So that's 59 items, totaling 436 euros. So that is pretty good, I think, for 1 week where I was away for a bit of that a week. So I'm pretty happy with the amount of market prep I got done during the course of last week. So now we actually have only 2 more weeks of market prep until the next events are happening. So definitely stay tuned for next week's video where we will tackle the next week of market prep. But I thank you so much for watching this week of market prep all the way until the end. And I will see you guys again next week. So until then, bye.